So, how does this look like in a Mexican classroom? I hear you ask. So, as I said, I worked with lower primary in this format, and what we did is I'm the head of English, so I entered with our fabulous teacher Areli, and I wanted to help her introduce this new theme. So as you can see, we started with rhyming words with Areli, the telly, Matthew, the cat, and the rats. Sorry, Matt, cat, and rat. Okay, just to kind of get them interested. Matthew, Matt. So in teams, we had to provide them with the what is a rhyming word and some resources. So what we were lucky to have, as you can see on the screen, we had an Oxford Children's Rhyming Dictionary. Okay, so at the beginning, I demonstrated how they needed to use the dictionary, and especially the rhyming dictionary. But students also have access to so many rich resources for homework. They can use their cell phones to use children's rhyming dictionaries. On the website I provided you earlier, there is a search bar where children can search for words and it gives them age appropriate. We don't want anything inappropriate. It gives them age appropriate vocabulary and the rhymes for that vocabulary. So they get into teams, fill out this mat, cat, hat, sat, fat, pat, and then going through it, and we're just checking they understand the concepts of rhyme. Then I shared one of my favorite songs of all time, and they all go traveling by, just to kind of get them into the rhythm of rhyming. And I stopped the song and I asked them to pause. Okay, in this song, what rhyming words can you hear? Just once again, activation. They're listening for vocabulary. We are identifying rhyming words just to kind of bring up this skill of rhyming. And then once we've kind of gone through the rhyming in the dictionary, we've gone through the song to identify the sounds of rhymes and appropriate rhymes in songs. Then I start to ask them, okay, now, this is of course over multiple days, right? I ask them, write a list of your 10 favorite things in primary. So I give them examples of cars, trees, ball, iPad. I mean, let's be honest, they're children. That's what they like nowadays. Paint, toys, toy, books. Okay. So they've already been given an example through the song. So they start to think about things that are relevant for them. They don't need to worry about rhymes in this moment. They only need to write their favorite things, their 10 favorite things. Okay. And then I start to ask them, okay, now that we've got our 10 favorite things, I would like you to circle in red the four that you want to rhyme. Okay. So I gave them, so I demonstrated it for them. They circled ball, they circled trees, they circled cars, they circled snake. And then we're asking them to write in a different color. Write in red a rhyming word with your chosen word that you circled. Ball, tall, tree, me, cars, Mars, a snake, a lake. Okay? Hopefully, they don't rhyme things like orange, which you can't rhyme with. But if they do, it's okay. It's all part of the learning process. We can identify to them. It's okay. Not all words have rhyming words. Don't worry. Just make a list of some others in your list of 10, as we saw before. You can go back to that and check something different. Okay. So once again, yeah, I had some bizarre, like Marvel characters that I just couldn't rhyme for them. But it's okay. Once again, we redirect them to their ability and we ask them to, you know, start to rhyme the words that they can do. And this is where the teacher really comes into play. So this is all step by step, they're starting to do it by themselves, right? And then what I did is I cut out little pieces of paper and I wanted them to write their rhyming words in red and the other words in black. Once again, I'm creating this color difference that I'm able to match. It's just a simple matching activity. So they've written all of their words in black and red, all these little pieces of paper, and then it becomes a puzzle. They organize the words that they need to do below. Black, 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 red. Black, 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 red. So then they come paint, iPad, toy, a tree, ball, books, paint, me. Once again, starting to build them with their stanzas so then they can start to build their own poems. And we're slotting that into the middle of their poems because we've provided the beginning and end. And from there, they're slowly starting to build their own poems. Okay, so I would like to give you a go. I'm going to write in the chat the code because I find it so useful to share materials with teachers. And so I'm going to, oh, actually, can someone from, I've put the link into the private chat. If someone could help me by putting that into the comment section, that would be so helpful. So yeah, I have provided with you with a link with some worksheets to kind of get you started. Okay, so I would like you to choose and write. Thank you so much. British Council Mexico has posted the link into the chat. Please use that and open it to find these PDFs. I have provided you the link. Open it and have a look at some of the worksheets. Once again, these are real worksheets we use at my school. They're a gift to you all for these different types of poems. I would like you to take a few moments, and as teachers, we need to be inspired ourselves. So open them, look at the instructions, start to look at the example of the poem, and begin to write your own poem. I'll give you 2 minutes. I would love to give you more, but there are a few more slides I need to get through. And then please share them and I'll read them out accordingly. Okay, you have 2 minutes. So whilst you're writing, I'll just explain what are in those links. You've got the fractured nursery rhymes where it goes through different stages of choosing a nursery rhyme or a well-known song. Then it's saying about rhyming. Once you pick your rhyme, next steps to find the words, and it's given examples. Okay. And then you write your first draft and your final draft. In the second, you've got your list of favorite things where it says my favorite things, rhyming, a list of words, rearrange your words, choosing endings, and your favorite poem. Okay. So yeah, you can begin to write your own poems. Okay. I'll just quickly, as you're finishing up, as not everyone can provide a poem. Oh, I like that comment. As not everyone could have a rhyming dictionary, we could provide with rhyming words to students for them to choose. Absolutely, Veronica. Yes, if you do not have rhyming dictionaries at your disposal in your class, you can, yeah, be providing them with different types of lists pre-made. At the park, saw a big dog sleeping like a log. I saw a small fish swim right through a dish. I saw a fast cat wearing a big hat. I saw a slow bird and it never said a word. Wonderful. Amadis, thank you so much. That is a wonderful example. Thank you. If we could have 1 or 2 more, and then we can move on to how we assess, and then we can start to wrap up. Tongue twisters, says Elena. Beautiful. I love that. So I will just once again just flick through. So This is the activity. Please write it. I'm going to show you, go back. Books and students every day at school study hard to enjoy the pool. Love it, Angelica. That's beautiful. For the, oh, sorry, I'm kind of skipping through here to get you the example of favorite things. Excellent. So once again, there's the structure for your favorite things. My teacher asked me what makes you happy, and then you've got the list. Okay, excellent. Selling. I like dogs. My mum doesn't have a clue. He is in my bed eating all my food. Good. Clue, food. That's a half rhyme. That's good. But these are things that should be celebrated. Fantastic. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Excellent. So we only have around 8 more minutes. But this is wonderful. Thank you so much. Please, 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 please continue to write your poems. Once again, don't be afraid of a Clerihew. They're a little bit more tricky, but it's okay. A list of favorite things. So yeah. So once again, please do go through the resources available to you. And of course, with older ages, you can begin to kind of stretch it up where you can give more demo and like the Clerihew, use the base, adapt it, and then once again, because they're a bit higher cognitively. Okay, so, but how do we assess this? So all of our students have written these beautiful poems like you just have now. And it is so inspiring for the student, but also for the parents. I had such an amazing experience showing parents of students who are lower ability, creating unique individual poems in a second language. What an amazing achievement that is. But also we need to assess, okay? So how do we give practical classroom strategies for using poetry? So I've walked you through what I did for first and second grade. I decided to share first and second grade because they're the most challenging, because they're the youngest and usually have a lower language ability. But in general, what are some practical classroom strategies you can use? So, of course, we can use choral reading where everyone's reading together to make them feel comfortable, especially with your demo texts, to make them feel comfortable, to get them in the rhythm and rhyme and kind of using the intonation correctly. That goes with poems. Encourage acting out poems to enhance meaning and engagement. It becomes a performance. Pair students for peer reading and performance. This doesn't have to be individual. We can put them together so the shyest students can also participate. What we did in my school is there was a child who did not really feel confident to stand up and speak, and that's okay. We got her to record a voice note and a video, and then that was her presentation, and it was wonderful. She still had her opportunity to participate. We can integrate drawing and movement using technology, like I just mentioned, to share performances. But it's very, very important to celebrate mistakes as valuable learning moments. We know that as teachers, making a mistake is an opportunity, not a problem. So it's always important to celebrate that and just give some feedback. Oh, how about using this word instead? But yeah, always using positive reinforcement and constructive feedback, promoting student choice. Once again, we need to give them the choice of their list, the choice of their toys. They decide, we don't tell them. If they begin to say it in Spanish, that's okay. We can write it down and help them with the translation. Okay. It's really important that the students are deciding what their poems are about and creating regular opportunities for sharing in small groups and whole class settings. Okay. So how do we assess? So originally, my school, we used to only assess the performance, which is not always the best thing. We've adapted it since, of course. But originally, as you can see in the structure of the format of the grading table, we looked at knowing the poem, speaking clearly, posture and eye contact. It's very performative. Volume, voice and pace, content, performance to kind of just show their performance. However, we are incredible teachers. We've got the NEM formative approach. We know that we should be assessing them throughout the whole process, not just the final product, to be building informative assessments. Okay, so that's why we've now moved on to students using self-assessment tools, like how were the rhymes correct? Was peer reflection included? Process-focused feedback rather than just the final performance. We're looking at them designing their own poem. Have they checked the correct material? And once again, error analysis workshops where mistakes become learning opportunities. We can use the board for that, just identifying, just passively giving feedback so we're not making them feel self-conscious, and continuous adjustment strategies based on student needs and responses. So we need to be giving them a practice session. They need to be evaluated throughout the whole time in their formative manner. So then we can be giving them feedback throughout the whole process, not just the final product, because we know that is such stronger basis for learning instead of just at the end. So we can start each week with student self-reflection activities. How are they doing? Which tell us three things you liked, one thing you found difficult. End each practice session with peer appreciation circles. We need to be given positive encouragement. We need to be celebrating. Document their growth through audios and reflective journals for older students. We can also, we can document their growth. We can keep a portfolio of their written work. So then we can be grading the whole process, not just the performance. Connecting speaking practice to real community needs. For example, in our school, we have a kind of celebration where the parents come in called Medici Talks. But we also need to pause and adjust when you notice student disengagement and celebrate mistakes as evidence of learning and courage. Okay, so I have 2 final minutes, so I'm going to make the most of all of this time. If you feel that poetry really isn't for your students, for example, that disengagement comment that we looked at a minute ago, we need to be making sure that it's a safe and welcome environment for just general oral activities, storytelling and creation. Please, please, please have a look at Talk for Writing techniques. It's a wonderful technique to get our students speaking original stories. As you said, role play and dress up, show and tell. Assemblies are lovely, grade assemblies where students are in control of presenting the work that they did the previous week, or Global Goals Week, for example. Clips and videos, presentation tools, and morning circles. Welcoming the students each day through morning circles, asking how are they in a nice, safe environment. Okay, so I'm going to end this webinar, this presentation, because you've got your next speaker coming on. In every poem, there's a world to explore with words that dance and dreams that soar. So open a book, let your imagination take flight, and discover the magic that shines in each line bright. That is the beauty of the written word. That is the beauty of poetry. And that is what we should be giving to our students. Please make sure you use those materials. Feel free to use them. They're designed here at my school. We don't have any copyrights, don't worry. I really hope everything was applicable for you today, useful today. So next week, we can be starting these processes with our children in school. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your participation in your wonderful poems.